Hi, good seeing you.
Are we good? Are we ready?
You guys can, I'm ready when you are.
What was your original 5-year plan? I'm interested to know. You never expected to bring angels into things.
Yes.
So how would you have done what you did without the involvement of angels?
It's a really good question, and I don't know. I can tell you that, when you start a show, these plans are not set in stone. They're really mutable cocktail napkin sketches. And so I had a plan about demons. That was my plan when I began, and when we were starting to figure out somewhere around the pilot into knowing that this was becoming a series, Peter Johnson, one of the producers, and I were kicking around a game plan, and it was about demons. It was about, we're going to start with this demon, but this demon works for that demon, and that demon wants to let the devil loose. And it was all about working your way up the demon ladder. I'm not even sure we knew that at that time Yellow Eyes was working for Lilith. We just knew that there was a higher demon. And then we decided to make her a woman, and it's because the first demon was a man. And so these things evolved, but we had a structure of a demon ladder that was ultimately about letting Lucifer loose, letting him loose, having him take over Sam. Like the dark secret was always that Sam was going to be the vessel, and that originally it was just then Dean has to hunt down and kill his brother. That was what probably the original plan was probably going to be. But then, rightfully so, we brought in angels to bolster up the other side of the coin, and then Michael came in the story, and it evolved from just, I have to hunt down and kill my brother, to these two mirrored stories about two brothers, the brothers in heaven and the brothers on earth, and how they compare and how they contrast. So a lot of it was dumb luck. A lot of it was noticing the opportunities that we had in front of us at the time and taking advantage, and for the most part, it worked out, I think, maybe. I don't know.
What are you most excited about with this scene?
Wiping the slate clean, I think, is really exciting. The mythology's become exhausting burdens, in a way, from a writer's perspective. I mean, if you just look at, deep into X-Files, which we bring up a lot in the room as, something we're just terrified of, and sometimes even late in the game on Buffy, as much as I love Buffy, and things get complicated and it's hard, and it becomes less about the fun of why you fell in love with that show in the first place and servicing all of these different storylines. So the opportunity to say, all right, the supernatural movie as you know it, it's over. Let's all tune in for the sequel, everybody. And the new movie's starting, and here are the new characters, and they're in a different part in their lives, and they're getting involved with a whole new conspiracy and a whole new mythology, and they can have fun, and we can put them in new situations without having to be beholden to, oh, we can't put them in that situation because Archangel Michael wouldn't like it, blah blah blah. We don't have to worry about it. So that it's been a really invigorating, freeing time in the writer's room. Yes, yes. I don't know how long this plan is. I know it at least it's a year. It may go beyond. I think kind of as we sort of did in the beginning of the show, somewhere around the middle of the season, we'll get a really good sense about whether there's going to be a year after this, and we have different plans in place. So I think it can go longer. It's certainly designed to go longer if it wants to. But it's a different feel, which I really like. It's a whole new mythology. It's, what I describe is if up to now it's been like Star Wars and Truck Stop America or Lord of the Rings, now we're calling it it's LA Confidential or Chinatown. It's noir, and it's gritty, and it's down to the earth, and it's twisty, and the mythology keeps taking left turns on you. And I think it's going to be it's going to have a really different feel. I also liken it it's going to be the difference between Alien and Aliens, where same subject matter, same character, but just different filmmakers bring to it a different style. And I think Sarah really has her own style, and it's going to be the characters you love, but in a really different tone, I think, which I think is really exciting. What we mean usually when we say noir, or usually in the writer's room, it isn't so much like shadows and trench coats or whatever, but no one is as who they seem, and everyone's got ulterior motives, and there's a lot of twists and double crosses. I'm there. I mean, I'm not running it, which is I'm walking like my spine is straightening. But so far I've been in the room on every episode's break. I've given notes on every script. I've been in the room on every episode idea. I mean, frankly, I think I'm in it a little more than Sarah and Bob would want me to be. But I'm definitely trying to make sure that it falls within these creative parameters, that it feels like supernatural. But outside of that, I'm really, enthusiastic and encouraging of Sarah to really make it her own and have her own interpretation of it that I think will be invigorating to the fans. It's a show that's always reinvented itself, so it just felt time like it was time again to reinvent itself. Okay, sure.
Okay, sure. I'll ask a question. I'm not sure if you actually asked me to ask this question that Dean's importance in stopping the apocalypse is really built up and then in the end it sort of seemed like that prayer was dropped and Sammy came forward a little bit. So what would you say to that? Are interpreting it wrong?
Everything is open to interpretation. Far be it for me to tell fans what they think the show is. It's for them. I can just tell you what it meant to me, which is the show is and always has been about family from page 1 to page 5,000. It's never been about one brother or the other. It's been about the relationship between the both of them. And had Dean, for me, and it's like a yin-yang thing, and had both of salvation of the planet depended on both of them acting equally. And had Dean not decided to sacrifice himself and go to be with his brother because the love of family and the relationship between them trumped all, had he not built and learned to do that, to forgive his brother and love him over years of the training of learning and experience on the show, then he would never have gone out there, and Sam would have never seen him, and he never would have seen the car, and he never would have had the strength to take over his body and save the world. So to me, that's a two-man alley-oop.
He played the role he was meant to play.
Yeah, and one that he never would have done in the pilot, but learned to do in the finale. And to me, that's sort of what it's kind of all about. But if people, as long as they're watching, they can think whatever the hell they want.
I'm sorry, I have to switch.
No comment.
You go right here, Eric.